It's almost an understatement to say that Clay's $3 billion valuation came out of its ecosystem. Because Clay clubs meet in 90 cities around the world, there are 20,000 users contributing to its Slack community, and hundreds of agencies have built their businesses on the platform. Some making millions and millions a year from Clay. But Clay didn't start with a partner program. There were no tiers, no certifications, no ambassador badges. For years, their entire community infrastructure was just a Slack channel that they forced their customers to join. So, how did this become the amazing thing that it is today? After dozens of hours of research and years of lived experience building my own communities, I have distilled what Clay did into a 4-phase sequence that I am calling the Gardener sequence. So, here is the framework and how you can use it. I've been studying Clay alongside brands like Notion and Figma, two other companies with incredible customer communities. But where Notion and Figma have horizontal tools with massive addressable audiences, I don't think that that actually fits most of our businesses. Clay's playbook is more transferable because they built around a very narrow ICP, and that constraint is what actually made the whole thing work. Clay's CEO told his team early on to approach their brand like gardeners. They are there to nurture growth, but not necessarily direct it. And I think that philosophy is what helped Clay's ecosystem take root. So many partner programs launch with like a big splash and then they quietly fade after 6 months. So here's Clay's framework. Phase one is to prepare the soil. Before Clay had an ecosystem, they had a very clear constraint. It was a narrow user base where everyone in it had a lot in common and a reason to learn from each other. That was deliberate. Clay kept the wait list active even after they were making millions in annual revenue, and it let them be hyper specific about who they admitted to use the product. Then they made the move that almost sounds hostile toward growth looking back at it. They turned off email support and web chat entirely. The only way to get help was a public Slack channel that was visible to all customers. And during the onboarding Zoom calls, the team would not let anyone off the call until they joined the Slack group. This did three really interesting things. I think it limited a lot of the noise from frivolous comments because no one wanted to ask kind of a silly question in front of 200 of their peers. It created a space for pure participation because the customers started actually answering each other's questions before the team could even respond. And lastly, it helped the customers feel seen and surrounded by people with the same goals and the same challenges as them. The Slack channel evolved from a support tool to a community peer group, and that happened because people had so much in common. So here's the test for you. Imagine a room filled with your most engaged users. How much do they have in common? Could they help each other without your involvement? And what would it take for them to be collaborative versus competitive? The community quality is going to come from the constraint here, not necessarily the scale. Phase two is to spot organic growth. Clay's early customers were agency owners, so these were people with clients who could pull through the product to their customers. Agency owners were posting their Clay workflows on LinkedIn to promote themselves as experts in this emerging category. The power users were going deep in private WhatsApp groups, sharing tips and tricks with their close peers, but not necessarily publicly. And people in the Slack community were helping each other out and demonstrating expertise. They even saw that some users started calling themselves Clay experts. If their customers could build a career around their Clay expertise, these people would end up becoming the most motivated advocates that Clay could ever find, all because they had completely aligned incentives. So the key lesson here is that you cannot manufacture that kind of organic energy, but you can absolutely miss it because these signals often show up in private channels or in places that your analytics dashboards won't report on. So if you haven't actively gone looking for these things, it's probably not time to conclude that the signals aren't there. Phase three is to feed what's growing. The founding team at Clay started to partner with their customers behind the scenes. So they were telling them about new features, sharing lessons to help them win new business, and they were even helping to create personalized content for their customers to share on social media. Clay realized that UGC would be most powerful when people were creating something because they had something super tangible to show off. The content wasn't a testimonial or a review, but it was like, look at this amazing thing I built, and that's far more compelling to share. So the Clay team spent a considerable amount of time supporting experts on their own marketing campaigns. As the team at Clay put it, we want to help them look legit because if they grow, we grow. And I think that is the governing principle of the entire program. You are investing more in your community's success than you are extracting from it, at least in the beginning. The returns are going to come later, but if you align your incentives and help your customers grow, it will help you grow in the long run too. Phase 4 is to build the trellis. It was only after the organic growth was undeniable at Clay did they formalize the ecosystem with a real structure. So first of all, the community became programmatic. Clay clubs got a dedicated host. They even got budget to host events and create meetups. Second is that the content became incentivized. So creator programs gave customers formal and tangible reasons to create posts that helped their customers grow and helped Clay grow at the same time. Third, the expertise became credentialed so that they could have tiers. A formal partner program launched as well, and it created affiliate programs for revenue shares. Fourth, they actually created a new role. So Clay kept hearing from their customers about something like a GTM engineer. So they put it in their own job descriptions internally. And then when they published job posts, other people saw those jobs. Today, there are hundreds of GTM engineer job postings at companies like Cursor and Webflow and Notion and some of the most attractive brands in the world. The aligned incentives also became literal. They let people invest in their VC round with companies like Sequoia. And so I think that reinforces the message to members that you will get a ton of value in this. You are investing in us and we are investing in you. Every one of these moves would have totally bombed if they launched it too early. The partner tiers work because there are enough successful partners to fill them. The equity offering worked because the community already felt a sense of ownership in the brand. The trellis supports growth that already exists. So here is the takeaway. Most ecosystem programs fail because they jump to stage 4. Someone sees Clay's partner tiers and they build the equivalent. 6 months later, the program has 12 members and no momentum, and it goes away. And that is such a critical point. Clay's ecosystem was not engineered, it was cultivated. So they constrained their community until it was dense enough and valuable enough to sustain itself. They watched for organic signals instead of trying to manufacture them. And they invested in their users' success before formalizing anything or expecting more in return. And it was only when that growth was so overwhelming and undeniable that they built the infrastructure to help support it. So the question isn't, how do I build a partner program like Clay? The question should be, is my product and ICP ready for one? Because the companies that get this right won't be the ones that copy Clay's partner program. They will be the ones that copy Clay's perspective. I hope this video was super helpful. We drop a new one each week. I included a full breakdown in the description that you can take home, including a PDF. So subscribe and get the next one next week.